Hey everyone, so I just finished a new painting. It took me like a month to do, so that was unfortunate. I filmed the whole thing doing a time lapse, so you can watch it be made. And I'm gonna do a voiceover explaining some stuff as we go. Alright, so here I am just walking down the street back from the art store with a big old canvas. This is my source image. It's just a picture of a plant in front of a window during sunset. I thought if I get a big canvas, then when I'm hanging it, it'll look like it's sunset. This is the most satisfying thing when you just scrape all the old paint off. And then I have to set up my new palette. I'm gonna go for that kind of golden tint that was kind of the background of the window. So I'm using a lot of yellows and oranges, mixing them together, getting a couple different tones because it changes throughout the painting. The background is different colors, so I had to get a couple different hues. Now I'm just setting stuff up. A lot of straight lines in this picture, which ended up taking forever. So I had to set all this up, and then I start just kind of washing out the back with the yellow that I made. Really thinned the paint out, really thin. It was like watery, just so that I could spread it out more and not have to use like a gallon of paint to cover this huge canvas. Like I said, there's some variation in the back here, so that's why I have that kind of green patch in the middle. There's a shadow over on the right hand side. I skipped some here, just did the entire top, and then now I'm making kind of the window frame itself, which was kind of a purpley hue. The big patch in the middle on the top was intentional, by the way. I didn't spill coffee on it. Then I'm doing some detail work here on that shadow on the side. Now I'm trying to figure out how to get some long lines, because there's strings that run up and down the blinds. So I'm kind of took my ruler and I put it on a slant so that it wasn't actually touching the painting itself, but it still ran across the whole thing. That way I could just use it as a guideline. Now here I kind of made my own little system. I had this big anatomy book, and then I just put the one side of the ruler on the desk and then the other side on the anatomy book, and I moved the ruler up and down to make these long lines that kept them parallel and straight. It took forever, and I don't know, I'm not over it. So that shot alone was probably like an hour and a half of just making white lines. This whole painting overall took a month, but I sat down and probably worked on it 5 or 6 times for maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours at a time. So now continuing from those white lines, they peeked through the blinds and they were a little bit more blue here, and I tried to make like a gradient line, if that makes any sense. It was like a darker blue on the left and then fades to that white. Now a different day, I make the blue lines. This is actually upside down right now. The painting is upside down. So this is the top of the window, and I'm making it kind of a sky blue, which isn't quite true to the actual original image, but I thought it looked kind of nice. Again, this took forever. I'm mad. Then I was just doing some detail work, adding to some of the strings that go on the blinds. Here I have that. I'm making trees peeking through the background. You can't really see them very well. At the end of this, I'll do a detailed shot of the painting, but and then here's the plant in the front, which looks like it's just black, but actually it's a dark green, and I added a lot of oranges in there to show reflections. So it's all coming together now, almost done. So here's the tree that I was talking about. That's just kind of peeking through. And then I don't know, maybe you can't see it all that well, but while the shadow plant in front looks like it's a black, it's actually a dark green, and there's a lot of oranges in there. for reflections. I don't think it showed up in this picture that well. But anyway, this took probably 8 hours over the course of a month to make, and I'm pretty glad with how it turned out.